This item is unbelievably important for our century because the question, what is the main problem of our century? One of them is new energy resources to find. Another is new resources like metals, strategic metals, or increasing level of life the people. Finally, it's not only my opinion, is global warming as a global problem of our century. Because the global warming is connecting very strongly not only with level of life, and also with life of the peoples. Why industry? Why global industry? Because it's not possible to be society without industry. It's not possible to be society the same level without increasing. That's why it's necessary to increase industry, to increase technology, but safety, green technology.
In the Parliament, we are currently working with the Economic Recovery Plan, where we aim at the re-energizing the construction industry as well as the consumption in Europe. Especially in these times of recession, we must protect our employees. Since this is a national issue, it is the responsibility of the companies to raise and discuss the situation of the employees. It is important for all of us with a substantial social development, and we must all take our responsibility to achieve this. I was recently on a delegation trip to the United States to discuss the upcoming climate negotiations, and I brought many positive experiences with me home. I believe that one important solution to counter the recession is to improve the work we do within the transatlantic link.
Well, of course, we all know the story of the greenhouse gas emissions, but what I would just like to emphasize to you, of course, is that most of the greenhouse gases are water vapor. And we're very fortunate to have greenhouse gases, because if we didn't have greenhouse gases, we couldn't inhabit this earth. So greenhouse gases are a blessing to begin with. But as you'll see on the slide, a significant percentage of the greenhouse gases are constituted by carbon dioxide. And it's the carbon dioxide and others such as methane and the fluorohydrocarbons that are engaging us in a lot of research today. The best case scenario is that we hold emission rates constant. Remember, that's rate, not amount. And then we manage at the mitigation to bring it down to some steady state of about 500 ppm. So, in summary, we have a lot of indicators that this is a serious problem. We have carbon dioxide levels increasing. We have Arctic sea ice being reduced. We have global average temperatures increasing. We have issues that are observed in the ice sheets in Antarctica. Now, the 1990s was the hottest decade in 1,000 years. And so we have many indicators to confirm that this is a serious problem that needs to be addressed.
The problem of the mining industry are the emissions of different greenhouse gases. And in this case, I'm going to talk about the conversion of all these gases in carbon dioxide equivalent. And it's necessary to point out that the copper industry doesn't produce carbon dioxide emission but by itself. Therefore, carbon dioxide emissions are associated with the type of energy employed for copper production. The type of energy, this is important. Hence, there are two types of emissions: the direct emissions associated with fossil fuel combustion and indirect emissions associated with electricity generation.
For a sensible approach to climate change and energy, we must bring on new technologies. There really is no other way. There is no single existing technology which has any economic chance of bringing emissions down by of order 50 to 80% for the world by 2050. And as soon as one accepts that argument, and I know we can argue about it, then one is forced to say we must have many things changing, but one of them is major new technologies. The long-term demand for minerals is still going to increase markedly. And this is tied up with population growth. It is tied up with the choices that people want to make concerning what sort of houses they live in, what sort of mobility they want to see. All of these things which are governed to people's lifestyle choices demand minerals.
Most common minerals are colemanite, tincal, ulexite, kernite, sasolite, and the borosite. The boron reserves are like oil reserves. They are not distributed all around the world. Some of the countries they have, the Turkey, United States, Russia, China, Mexico, Argentina, Chile, Serbia, Kazakhstan, Bolivia, Peru, and some others.
And we can see here that for all the red metals, everything has to be imported from outside the European Union. Only in copper, iron, chromium, tungsten, and some other metals is the European Union producing part of the consumption, but not very much. This is another statistical slide. It's probably impossible to read it, but it shows that some countries in the European Union are not insignificant in the production of different metals, like zinc, for example. Ireland and Sweden are of importance. Copper, Poland primarily is a very big producer. And for lead, Sweden, Ireland have some significance in the world. Sorry. Otherwise, Europe is not producing very much. However, most of the other commodities can be obtained from other countries. This is also in the Swedish language, I'm sorry, but this is about the nuclear power. And it says that nuclear power, how much of the total energy is being produced from nuclear power?
Strategic metals or electronic metals, who are they? That's tantalum, gallium, germanium, scandium, selene, some rare earth elements, and indium. And for what are they used? They're used in the electronic and communications technology, but they are also used for energy generation, for example, in solar cells, especially in the thin layer solar cells. We all know that alternative energy is still covering only a relatively small portion of our energy supply. But we hope that this portion can be increased in future. But in order to do that, we need the raw material supply for these technologies. The other field where electronic metals are used is the field of reducing energy consumption through new technologies